Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Gatesy and this is Forged from Iron. Thank you for joining me. Now, normally I am joined by Duke. As you'll notice, he's not here with me. He is waylaid. Apologies for that. So I'm going to fly solo for a little bit. So bear with me. Now, we've obviously had the game at Old Trafford. That was fairly disappointing, but it's gone now. So we go on to a game tomorrow against our London rivals, Arsenal. Now, just a few little facts for you about the game that's coming up. So we have won only 3 of our last 24 Premier League games, home games. This is against Arsenal. We've drawn 8 and lost 13. Second point, Arsenal have completed the Premier League double over us in 11 previous occasions, more than they have any other side in this competition. Number 3, we have lost more Premier League games against Arsenal than they have versus any other side in the competition, 32. But Arsenal have won more Premier League away games against us than they have versus any other side, number 13. This will be the 4th time that we have faced Arsenal in Premier League matches whilst we have been above them in the table. But they are unbeaten in their previous 3 games when we've been in that situation. A 0-0 draw in September 05, a 3-1 win in October 2012, and a 2-1 win in December 2014. And no side has won more points in the Premier League London derbies this season than Arsenal, 13, with them already picking up more points in their 6 such games this season than they'd managed to get in 8 games last term, which was 10. So they're my 5 little factoids. Now, doesn't make great reading for us. However, all these things must come to an end at some point or another. And I'm reasonably confident that David Moyesy is going to set up in a much more positive way than was the case at Old Trafford. For me, he absolutely has to, because at the end of the day, if we come away from the game at London Stadium tomorrow on the wrong end of a defeat, it could be quite detrimental to our chances of, really pushing for those top places in Europe. So I've done a little. I'm going to show you the team that I believe will take to the pitch tomorrow. So I believe we're going to go in goal will be Lucas Fabianski. I believe we're going to go with a back 4 of Aaron Cresswell, Craig Dawson, Issa Diop, and Vladimir Soufal from left to right. Just in front of them will be obviously the captain, Declan Rice, and Thomas Souček. I hope and I think that he's going to go with 3 across the attacking midfield of Said Benrahma left, Pablo Fornals on the number 10 position, Jesse Lingard on the right. However, these 3 during the course of the game, I think they're going to be moving around and interchanging with each other. And there will also be obviously up front, Mikel Antonio, I believe, will be, get rid of that, will be playing up front through the middle. So as for Arsenal, this is how I think they're going to line up. The goalkeeper, Leno in goal. Back 4 of Kieran Tierney, Gabriel, David Luiz, and Cedric Suarez from left to right. Then Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey as the 2 sitting midfielders. I believe it will be Emil Smith-Rowe on the right, Martin Odegaard in the number 10 position, and Nicolas Pepe on the right, although there is a chance that Bukayo Saka might be involved. Obviously, he was picked by Gareth Southgate for the England squad, so there's a train of thought that he may possibly be not as injured as people maybe think. But obviously, we'll wait and see. So that's basically what I think the teams will be tomorrow. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the chat. So here we go, guys. So you've got a StreamYard link there. So if anybody wants to jump on and join me, have a little chat, feel free. So let's have a look at the comments. So we've got Andy Miles there. Hello, Milesy. How are you doing? Beer o'clock. Oh, wow. I wish. I'll tell you what. Now, here's the thing. Look what turned up. Now, that is courtesy of our good friends at Hammers Chat, Gio and Gonzo and Charlie and all the other lads. So thanks very much, boys. Got these 2 that turned up, and there's another 2 that are on the way. Hammers Chat have got a new design out, so I'll keep you posted as to what that looks like. But this is my second cup of tea in it, and I'll tell you what, next level mug, world class tea in a world class mug. I'll tell you what, I've got to give them the boys their dues. They've done themselves proud there. So yeah. So who else we got? We got Steve 50. Hey, Gatesy. Yeah. Hello, Steve. How you doing, mate? All good. So who we got here? Oh, someone wants to come in. Oh, look who it is. Here comes trouble. Moyesy, how you doing, son? Oh, your microphone on, mate. I think you're on mute. Not to worry. Who have we got? Oh, look. You're watching. Oh, that's all right, mate. Don't listen, buddy. There you are. You got sound now, mate.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Just going through the live chat, just seeing who's joining us. So we've got obviously Duke's there. He's, like I say, he's got some issues he needs to tidy up. So it is what it is. So I'm flying solo, but I've got some help.
Get to bed again.
Yeah, well, you may possibly say that, but I could not possibly comment, Moyesy. Jay Yaz, you've cheered me right up, he says. Well, we're here to please. What can I say, mate? It is what it is. We do our best. None of us are getting out of life alive, so we might as well enjoy it while we're here. Kent's in the house. Kent, how you doing, my friend? That's my team, Gatesy. What are you talking about? What, the Arsenal team, the West Ham team, or are you thinking both, mate? Let us know your thoughts. I personally think we need to set up like that because I really don't want to see us taken to the pitch. I don't know about you, Moyesy, with 5 at the back. Let's look at it, right? We've got the second best home record in the Premier League, right? The only team that's got a better record than us is Manchester City. And we're above Arsenal, yeah? We're above Arsenal by, a fair distance. I mean, we're on 48 points. They're on 41. So we're 7 points clear of them. We played the same amount of games. So why should we be going into this game with any sort of inferiority complex? For me, we should be going at them, and we need to.
No, 100%, mate. I agree with you. I think we need to go back to the back 4, get them on the high press. That's what everyone's been saying. The high press is the most important bit, and I honestly can't think of anything better than Ben Rama, Lingard, and Antonio running at their defence. They won't know what's hit them, and
definitely.
And the only thing what let us down in the fixture at the last of the season was a defensive mistake from Yarmolenko. Apart from that, we deserved at least a point in the away game. So I'm feeling confident, to be honest.
What do you think about the two teams that I put up there? I mean, obviously, I think the goalkeeper and the back 4 and the 2 sitting in midfield, I think most West Ham fans would say they picked themselves. So aside from that, so if we just move on to the sort of like the 4 further up front, what would be your pick? Who would you put where?
I would put Fornals out on the right, in my opinion. Okay. The only reason why is because Fornals is very good at tracking back, and I think he'll help Soufal with Tierney. I think if we isolate Tierney, I think we've got a good chance. And I would put Lingard out on the left, and I'll put Ben Rama in the middle. And I believe Ben Rama's got the ability to unlock and release the ball to Antonio to get in behind. I think that's where the game will be won. If we can get in behind them and on the high press, I don't think there's anything to worry about, in my opinion.
Who's the danger men for Arsenal, in your opinion, Moyesy?
If Saka plays, Saka, Tierney and Odegaard.
Yeah. I think Tierney's been arguably one of the best left backs in the Premier League. I mean, Luke Shaw has had a fantastic season for Manchester United. Cresswell, obviously, we know all about. We've seen him up close and personal, and he's been, very impressive for us, whether he's played as a left fullback or whether he's played as a left centre back. But Tierney, I mean, he's looked absolutely mustard in what I would consider to be a fairly average. And I say this with no sort of disrespect, but let's have it right. Arsenal for a lot of the Premier League years were winning it, finishing second, this, that, and the other. So here they are in 10th position. So let's call it as it is. This is an average Arsenal team, but he's gone in there and he's looked really impressive.
Yeah, no, I agree, and everyone's been saying it. Set pieces as well. Arsenal are not a big side, and they're not a big side. And like I think James said it on Jake's show as well. When you've got with Cresswell delivery, you've got Diop, Dawson, Rice, Souček, Antonio, it's a bit of a mismatch in the box, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, what can you do? But I mean, obviously, we should be going in, like you say, they're not great at defending set pieces, and we're the best in the league at scoring from set pieces. So, we should be going into this sort of really, we should be licking our lips, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should. And I bet you a fiver we do a short corner or a short free kick to start off with. Let's have a bet on that, shall we?
So Kent's put here, so he says, that's my West Ham team, and I think Saka will play. Interesting. But I hope he's injured for this game because he's been their best player all season. I agree, Ken. I think he's been one of their better players. He's, like I say, I think they've been a fairly average team for me this season. And I think where their position is and their points tally bears that out. But Saka has been, and I'd say Saka, Smith Rowe, he's looked good.
Yeah.
And Tierney, the rest of them have been pretty much of a muchness, if we're being completely honest about it.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Aubameyang. I mean, Aubameyang, everybody was sort of raving about him. Oh, you got to give him a new contract. He signed a new contract. What's he done since?
Yeah. No, he has. And the thing is with Saka, I agree, he's been his best player. But if he sticks out on the left, not many players have got past Soufal this season. The only way it would be if Soufal gets exposed with Tierney and Saka. But then if he goes on the other side, I know Saka will probably beat Creswell for pace, but if he cuts inside, you've got Rice and Souček there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting battle. But the midfield it's just how well Rice and Souček. That's where Ben Rama, Lingard, and Fornals are going to have to work hard because they're going to have a free midfield.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Xhaka, Odegaard, and Partey, but like you said, we've got the engine of Souček and Rice in there. They've done it very well, and I still feel confident. I think we're going to win. Everyone's saying that they're doing well, but we've proved this season if we play well, we win as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, Kent's got it on the nose there. Saka, Tierney, and Smith Rowe. They're the three players that I said, this season they've been their shining light for me, or their shining lights, plural. But other than that, David Luiz. I mean, he's a train wreck of a central defender. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's exactly my thoughts when I think about it. Listen, he's a good footballing centre back, if you will, but he's not a good defender. He can be got at.
Yeah, no, he's good. I think Arsenal's probably better. Gabriel, I like him. He's slowly adjusting to the Premier League. I think he's got a very good future. But I think Arsenal are missing the most is Holding. Holding's probably been one of their best defenders this season, and the fact that he's out as well, and that's sort of doing us a favour. He's even had the captain's armband for him this year for a few games. So. But no, David Luiz is the one to get got at, and Cedric or Bellerin. It doesn't really matter which one of them have got it. I certainly, as a fullback, wouldn't want to be playing against Ben Rama and Lingard running at you. And I've called it. I think we're going to get a penalty tomorrow. I think there will be clumsy. I think we will get a pen.
Who's on the penalty duties though, Milesy?
Oh,
it's got to be Lingard again. Yeah. I agree. I mean, I didn't think that his last penalty really covered himself in glory, to be fair. Like, he got away with it. I mean, he tucked away the rebound, in fairness, but the goalkeeper saved it. It was a poor penalty. But I think Declan's got to be back on penalties, isn't he?
Yeah. We'll say it again, mate. Is Ben Rama going to score tomorrow?
Well, how many times have we said it? I mean, every time. I mean, the first question is he going to start? Yeah. That's the thing. If he's stuck on the bench and he's only going to get the last 10 minutes, then his chances are quite limited, aren't they? But I dare say Fat Boy will have an opinion on whether Ben Rama ought to be starting. I think I'd wager a bet that Fat Boy's probably sitting there thinking, yeah, he's got to start. And I did a little bit of number crunching. I don't know if I discussed it with you or not, but he's had 20 matches that he's been involved in Premier League football. So forget about the cup for a minute. This is Premier League football. So 22 squads he's been in. He's had 2 matches where he was on the bench, didn't get on the pitch. 10 starts, 10 substitute appearances. He averages over the course of those 20 appearances 49.4 minutes. Now, I say it's a bit of a chicken and egg, because there's some people that are saying, well, the reason that he's getting so little time is because his stats are not good. 20 appearances in Premier League, 0 goals, 4 assists. But you can always flip it on its head and say, but the reason he's only got 0 goals and 4 assists is because he's getting so little time on the pitch. You know what I mean? It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What do you think?
But the thing is, though, with assists, that's what winds me up. What part do you say what an assist is? Is it the final pass? Is it 2 passes before? Because
it's the final pass.
See, he's been involved in a lot of the games, like the Aston Villa away, for example. I know he set up Souček, but he was heavily involved in both of the Lingard goals, and he didn't get the credit for them assists. So no, I think he's the key for us ticking. And the link up play, even in the Leeds game with Lingard and Benrahma, that is just frightening to see as a West Ham fan. And that no, I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. He really doesn't.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, if you look since the I think it was the Villa game, because we played the Villa game. It was a 3-1 win, wasn't it? And Lingard and Benrahma, and their link-up play was absolutely beautiful. And then wasn't it the next game was the Fulham game? I'm fairly sure it was. And he was substituted in the 55th minute. And since then, I think we played 5 games in the Premier League. He only actually started the Leeds game. And every other game, he was coming off the bench, 20 minutes here, 5 minutes there, blah, blah, blah. So, as I say, I don't think it's fair to really judge Benrahma when he's having such a limited amount of time on the pitch. Like I say, I know some people would put it, look at it from the other direction and say, well, the reason he's only getting that amount of time, or lack of amount of time, is because his attacking output isn't good enough. But maybe his attacking output isn't good enough because he isn't spending enough time on the pitch. So, like I say, chicken and egg. So I agree with you, Steve. I mean, you say about it depends upon which Arsenal team turns up and us not having an inferiority complex. That's the one thing that bugs me about David Moyes. I think, putting last week's game to one side for a moment, you can't look at this season and say it's been thus far anything other than a success. So I'm not digging Moyes out for the season, but I think for last week's game, as soon as everybody looked at the team sheet, everyone was just like, no. I mean, what did you think when you saw that team sheet last week, Milesy, and you saw you of your 10 outfield players, 8 of them really are defensive minded, aren't they?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me again, mate. I've just got over the game.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is that what Steve's saying about the inferiority complex, that was essentially what David Moyes was sort of transmitting, in my opinion. He was sort of like, I just want to sort of park the bus, shut up shop if we can get away with a 0-0. Do you know what? I'd much prefer to just sort of like set up a little bit more on the front foot. Let's go for it. Because the results last week largely fell our way, didn't they? There was teams around us that were dropping points left, right, and centre. So most people would probably think we're going to go to Old Trafford and lose anyway. So do you know what? Let's try and lose having a go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Even I would have been more happy if he's not been the best player. If Moyes doesn't trust Benrahma or didn't feel that was the game, I still would have felt more confident with Lanzini even in there. Lanzini a bit more forward. He's not been my biggest fan this season, but I would have felt more confident. But no, if he goes with 5 at the back tomorrow, I think the fan base will start to turn on him, especially if we don't get the result.
Yeah, I mean, because that would be the first time, because I know we obviously lost the 2 league games at the beginning of the season, but correct me if I'm wrong, there was a League Cup game that was in between the pair of them, which we won. So we've not lost back-to-back games in all competitions at all this season. So this game would be absolutely critical for me in terms of keeping, getting back on the horse, if you will. Momentum, as I'm sure you're aware, is such a big thing in professional sport, and winning becomes a habit, but unfortunately losing can become a habit just as quickly. And we need to make sure that if nothing else, we at least get a performance like we had at Man City. And if we come off the pitch, the wrong side of it, fine, not a problem. But if we can at least look at it and go, we had a go and we were bloody unlucky, then I think most fans would probably stomach it. But if it's going to be we're coming off the pitch and it was a drab performance and we didn't get the result, that is, you're right. I completely agree. I think you could start to see some people start to ask some questions of David Moyes. Kent's just put here, tomorrow is all about risk and reward. If we can't get at their back line, they can crumble. If you did a combined 11 of two teams, I think there would be more West Ham than Arsenal in the team. I think he's right. Yeah. I mean, if we look at that team that I believe is going to go out for Arsenal, we obviously know our team pretty much back to front. Yeah. So let's look at it. Okay, Fabianski versus Leno. Who'd you pick?
Fabianski.
Okay. Cresswell or Tierney?
Tierney.
Okay, so that's 1-1. No, that's fine. So that's 1-1. So we've got one West Ham, one Arsenal. Okay, yeah. Gabriel or Craig Dawson?
Oh, you had to put them two together, didn't you?
No, come on. Don't skirt around the issue, Milesy. Come on.
Dawson.
Okay, so that's 2-1 West Ham. David Luiz or Issa Diop?
It's a Diop just about.
Oh, 3-1. 3-1 West Ham. Okay, Cedric Suarez or Vladimir Coufal?
Coufal.
Oh, 4-1. Okay. I think this might be a no contest here. Declan Rice or Granit Xhaka?
Oh, that's a tough one. Why did you put that? No, Declan Rice. I
was going to say tough, really? Controversy reigns.
Yeah.
You going Rice?
Yeah.
That's 5-1. Okay, Thomas Partey or Thomas Souček?
Souček.
Okay, 6-1. Emil Smith-Rowe or Saeed Benrahma?
Smith-Rowe.
Oh, 6-2. Martin Odegaard or Jesse Lingard? No, sorry, we'll go with... we'll compare him to Pablo Fornals, actually.
Odegaard.
Okay, so what's that? That's 6-3?
Yeah.
Nicholas Pepe or Jesse Lingard?
Jesse Lingard.
7-3. And Alexander Lacazette or Mikel Antonio?
Lacazette.
Okay. Well, there's still more West Ham than there is Arsenal there, isn't it? I mean, Kent, I think you're absolutely right there, mate. So why should we go? We shouldn't really, on the basis of that, be going into that game with any sort of inferiority complex, should we?
No. Like I said, mate, we've just got to play them like what we did the Villas of this world. Yeah. You've got to attack them. They're going to have a lot of the ball. That's Arsenal. They're known for their possession side of it, but it's what we do with the ball. But I think one of the stats is we've won over half our games with less the ball or something silly like that. I think I have. So I'm not worried about what we do off the ball. It's what we do with on it, and I believe set pieces and high press will be the key for us winning.
I mean, I think that possession. I mean, it's a bit of a it's don't get me wrong. It's nice to have more of the ball, but Leicester City won a Premier League with, I believe it was 34-36% possession on average throughout the course of the season. They walked away with the Premier League. So possession's not the be all and the end all. You can have as much possession as you want, but if all you're going to do is do pretty little patterns, move it back, move it forward, sideways, this, that, and the other, and you don't actually go into the final third and get shots away, well, it's a nothing stat.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing is as well is Rice. Everyone apart from West Ham fans, not many people praise Declan Rice, and Declan Rice's passing is very, very good. And a lot of our goals have been by his build-up as well, getting the ball, looking up, and releasing the likes of Lingard, Benrahma, and I think that's what it is. And the only thing what I worry about with Antonio is I don't want him chasing balls what he's not going to get. I know he's good at doing that, but I'd rather him save the energy for when we have a bit of the ball and run him when we provide it, so to speak. But like you said, I'm not a football manager, but that's just my opinion.
Grasham Upson's here. We need a good start. I mean, do you think that the first goal is critical? Do you think if we're going to get anything out of this game, we have to score first?
I don't.
Or do you
I
think
think a win.
we've got the capability to come back if we go behind?
Yeah, I think we do. But I think if we score first, yeah, like what you're saying, then Arsenal have got to go for it. I think that's when it will open up and we'll punish them.
Yeah.
But I feel if they go a goal ahead, the way Arsenal play, they'll just continue playing that way. I'm not too worried. But I predicted on Jake's show earlier that we're going to win 3-2. I actually do think we'll fall behind. I think they'll score first, or we'll go like 2-1 or something like that. I do feel that they've got goals in them, and I think we would have got a more chance if Bonner was playing. Diop last week really worried me. He had a good few games, but last week he had a really off game.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple of players that played yesterday for the 23s, didn't we? We had Yama and Masuaku, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Yeah, no, I like the look of Masuaku. I'm glad he's back, but Yarmolenko, I never want to see him in a West Ham shirt again.
Ukrainian donkey, as Jake would say, I believe. Ken, Ben Rama must start. He's a game changer. Bowen is off his game at the moment for me compared to what he was previously. Ken, nailed it. Yeah. That's exactly my thoughts and exactly why I didn't put Bowen in my predicted lineup. I think he's potentially a very good player, and obviously what he did last season, and the beginning of this, I thought he'd started off really well. The game against Wolves, wasn't it, at London Stadium, the third game in. He looked top draw, but for whatever reason, his performances have massively dipped, and you just look at his confidence and sort of you just think, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll come good again, but right now, I mean, I know that the goal, the chance he had at Old Trafford, I know that would have been chalked off, but for me, he's got to at least put it on target. He's got to make the goalkeeper make a save, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, right. And like I said, when we done the tier system and we was talking about Bowen, I think the way he started the season's put extra pressure on himself. I think he feels like he needs to score or assist every other game. But for what he does off the ball, you cannot fault him for. And you could say that about Fornals. They're wingers, but they play like wing backs. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they're more inverted forwards, aren't they? Because obviously they're playing on the wrong side generally, so their tendency is to cut in. So the width's going to come from the fullbacks rather than from. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, I think, Moyesy. I might be sort of like maybe a year or two, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Well done. Checks in the post. But I mean, sort of like me, I'm a little bit old school. A winger to me is someone that's going to beat the fullback on the outside and get crosses into the box, rather than this modern phenomenon where their tendency is to cut inside and get the shots away. We've got someone in the green room, but he's just disappeared. Actually, that's brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah, talking about wingers, though. Yeah, talking about wingers, though, like you said, Masuaku is not a winger, but he's a wing fullback, so that's a bit. Yeah. But our last proper winger was probably Matty Everton for out and out 100%. Winger.
Yeah,
and imagine what he would have been like in this team to have that as an outlet.
Mate, absolutely. I remember Matty tearing it up down that left wing. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant player. I loved him. We got Steve again. So we went to City and lost well and came out of our heads high, ready for the next game. As a minimum, we need to do that again. Totally agree, Steve. Totally agree. If we come off on the wrong end of it, but as you say, if we can come off it where we've gone, where we hit the post and the goalkeeper made a world-class save and defenders are making blocks and it just didn't go for us, not a problem. That's fine. We can try and take a negative out of a positive and say, okay, the result didn't go for us, but the performance, if we do that more often than not, we're going to be on the right side of it. So that would be fine. But absolutely, if we're coming off with a performance and a bad result, I like I say, that's where I think the problem's gonna come. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, no, I agree. The thing is you just see, like, in the tone of their voice and the players, when we lose a game, they're not happy. Even when we beat Leeds, Declan Rice wasn't happy. I can't remember the last time we had mentality like that in the squad, and that goes from the top all the way to the bottom, from the coaching staff and all the way in. And I don't know whether you saw, did you see that Declan Rice interview on that with David Myler, and I can't remember the woman's name. Did you see it? It was.
No,
Have you seen
I
that?
missed that totally, mate.
Yeah, no, he was talking about it, and he was, and he said that's what it is. He said even like going into training and having breakfast with the lads and stuff like that. They enjoy coming. They said they enjoy going to training. When was the last time you probably heard players enjoying going to training? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, but no,
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, Kent's just made a good point here. Played for a draw from the start at Man United. Have to have a go and hang on. Played for a draw at the start at Man United. Have a go and lost 3-0. I'll accept that. It's not like we were bottom 5, 2 points from bottom, 3 with worse goal difference than third bottom, opportunity missed. Yeah, listen, I completely agree. I think if we'd have met Manchester United on the front foot, if we'd have lost 1-0, I think most fans would accept that. Wouldn't like it, but you'd accept it. But I don't think you can really accept too easily that we've gone to a team. And don't forget that they had a European tie sandwiched either side of it. This wasn't a Manchester United team that was fresh as a daisy. We had more rest than them. They've got a few injury issues here and there. So we should have absolutely attacked it.
Fit. Rashford weren't 100% fit. No,
exactly.
It's Gatesy. That's what I've asked a few people. I don't know whether I've asked you. Sorry if I have. But if we lost 1-0 in the last minute and played that way, would you have still reacted the same?
I'd still have been disappointed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't think it would have mattered for me when the goal came. If the performance was of that standard, I mean, we didn't have a shot on goal. We didn't have a shot at the goal in the entirety of the 90 minutes, and our best player was a goalkeeper. So for me, I it wouldn't have mattered when the goal came in the first minute, 53rd minute as it did, or the 90th. Steve, it's not how much of the ball you have, it's what you do with it. Exactly my point earlier when I made the reference to Leicester, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. Possession, you'd rather have more of the ball than your opposition, but if the opposition are going to have 60-70% of the possession and they're not going to get shots on target and you're going to have less of the ball and you're going to be peppering their goal, yeah, absolutely. I'd take that all day long. And he makes another point. Here we go. He's not there yet, but I think Declan could become world-class one day. Well, I'll tell you what, Steve, here's a little thing for you. And I want you to come back to me on this. If he's not world-class, what does he need to do to get to that level, in your opinion? Because I'll tell you my opinion. I think he's already there. And I'll tell you why. I don't think that there's more than a handful of teams in world football right now that Declan Rice does not walk into and improve. My opinion. Now, as I say, you may have a different point of view, Steve. As I say, come back to me in the chat. Not a problem. Let me know your thoughts. But I think he's already there. I really do. Peach, you are in the green room, but I've got no... This is what I've got.
Come in, come out.
I don't know what's going on with your internet, Peach, but you're there, but you're not. So, just Control-Alt-Delete and reboot, mate. I'll tell you what, he was on earlier. The weather in Canada looks absolutely beautiful. Kent, he's come in here. Makes a good point. A lot of it with Bowen is decision making. What's wrong with Bowen is 5-10%. I'm the same as you, Gatesy. Love an Evering type player. Or Sinclair stickers, needs wingers. Strikers, I think that's going to be. Need wingers that don't keep checking. Yeah, listen, I'm probably a similar vintage to you, mate. I'm a sort of little bit long in the tooth. And for me, a winger's a winger. You know what I mean? It's someone that, if you're a right footer, then you're on the right. If you're a left footer, you're on the left. It's as simple as that. So
talking of that, can you imagine that with Everett on one side, Sinclair, and then Lingard in the middle, and Antonio up front?
It would absolutely destroy most defences in the Premier League. Absolutely destroy them. Tear them a new one. So, he's back in the green room. Peach, I don't know if you're watching this, but it says device is not connected. So I don't know what's going on with you there, mate. It's all going a little bit Pete Tong.
Reboot your phone, Pete. Reboot your phone.
Yeah, just throw it against the wall. dear, oh dear. So, but
Okay, Gatesy. Just Premier League.
yep.
What's the best goal? What's the best goal we've scored against Arsenal? I bet Kent's got a good one as well.
I bet he has. I'm going to go Di Canio, the Di Canio goal at Upton Park, where he was it? Who was it? He flicked it past. Was it Tony Adams, Martin Keown? Kent
Both
will
of them.
remind me.
Yeah, both of them.
He
Wasn't
did
it?
both of them.
Yeah.
Not many players did that.
No.
Not many.
I've got one for you.
Go on.
But it's not at home. But it should still.
Okay.
Was Zamora when we stayed up? Zamora.
Oh yeah.
At the Emirates.
That was the game when Greeno was sort of like they just couldn't beat him. Could not
20
beat him.
shots or something, wasn't it? Yeah. No,
it was ridiculous.
But at home, I'll have to say, just because of the moment, because I was there and I remember getting chucked around, was when Harewood scored late at home when we beat them 1-0.
Oh, that was when Pardew and Wenger squared up to one another, wasn't it?
Yeah. do you know the usual gone when you score and you go about 12 seats down? It was one of them sort of moments, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was that the game when Patrick Vieira gobbed at Razor? I'm sure that was the same game, wasn't it?
The one what you're on about, yeah. The one what you're on about, yeah. That was when he kicked off with Foey as well, wasn't it?
Ah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, the one what you're on about.
He's in the Moyesy, guess who's in the green room? And it ain't Peach.
Duke. Is he finding?
No.
Is he Fever.
Here he comes.
Hey.
Go. I've got 9 minutes 30 seconds because the missus will get the umper word.
You're on a timer.
I'm on a timer.
How are we doing, buddy?
Yeah, all right, mate. All right. What we all thinking about tomorrow?
We've got to attack it.
Yeah,
we have to. You know this. We obviously discussed on Hammer's polls earlier, but we absolutely have to attack it, don't we? We can't afford to have 2 games back to back where we've just not performed. Oh, hello. Here he is. Here he is. Nice of you to join me.
I might not be here for long. I might not be here for long.
It's all right, mate. Listen,
James, what's your favourite goal? Premier League goal was scored against Arsenal?
Di Canio's goal, 2-1 win.
I'm running the hot water. When he takes it over Keown's head, doesn't he? Takes it over Keown's head, and then, like I say, Tony Adams tries to cut him in half at the waist, and he manages to tuck it away top bins. Yeah, sorry, I'm late, chaps. And again, I might end up having to leave quite sharpish.
Yeah, I've got to leave. I'm on 8 minutes 20. As you said to me, you got 10 minutes. No, no, okay. But no, in all seriousness, I think it's a big game tomorrow. It is a big game. It decides where we end up. I think because if he's dug as I've said it on different things. He's dug a hole last week, and now he's got to start filling it up. Do you know what I mean? And this agenda against Benrahma has got to stop because it's starting to affect now the players on the pitch. West Ham Online spoke to me privately. He said he threw people at the club. He said Declan Rice was absolutely fuming with that up in Old Trafford last week. He said he weren't impressed at all. He said we're going up there and we're setting up like that. And do you know what? I'm glad that they're not happy about it because you can't be going up there and being basically shit scared. Do you know what I mean? In a roundabout way. Like this is not. I can understand it if we was fighting relegation, but we're not. So we've got to embrace it now. 10 games, 30 points. If we can get 18 to 20 points, we're laughing, aren't we?
Last week was a free hit, though, wasn't it? It was an absolute free hit. I mean, like I say, everybody thought we were going to go there and get beat anyway. I think most people would. So why didn't we just sort of have a go? All the results last week fell our way. We shouldn't have put that team out, should we? I know hindsight's perfect vision, but
I mean, just quickly. I mean, I've got to say, I mean, you guys are all aware of what I've discussed and me team, the way that I want the team set up and the way I've kind of got my fixtures laid out. Now, if he doesn't, I don't know what you've touched on. So if I repeat anything that you guys have spoken about, I do apologise. But if he doesn't start Benrahma tomorrow, then I think Benrahma can probably kiss goodbye to not necessarily any kind of West Ham career he's got, but probably a starting berth in games, because he obviously doesn't want to use him. You know, we don't need to go 5 at the back tomorrow. We don't. There's no two ways about it. We can go 4 at the back. We proved it against United at Old Trafford at the weekend last week, that when we went to 4 at the back, 2 CDMs, your 3 attacking midfielders and Antonio up top, we looked better. I'm not saying we look more of an attacking threat. I'm not. But start that game. Start that game with a 4-2-3-1. Play Benrahma, but play him. I'd play him on the. I play him on the left, on the right, personally. No, on the left. I'd have Bowen to counter attack the threat of Tierney. So, because obviously, I think he will track. He will track Tierney back and support Soufal. And then you've got Lingard, you've got Antonio. There it is. Listen, we go there this weekend to win. We can't mess around with it anymore. We have to go there and win. And 3 points are essential if we want to qualify for Europe. It doesn't. Listen, I'd rather have Europe in the bag in 6 games' time and not have to worry about it with the last 4. Then you can dick around with formations and stuff. But listen, let's get Europe in the bag. Whether it's Champions League, Europa League, Champions League, or whatever league, we just got to go do. We've just got to go do and get that in the bag, and then make it a successful season. Like I say, I don't know if you guys have broached on this. I'm probably going to shoot. I just wanted to get my bit in. All right. I'm going to have to shoot because I've had more of the popo. So I shall catch you all over different videos and stuff. But I do apologise once more for my absence today, Gatesy.
See you later, mate.
Take it easy.
Sorry, Gatesy.
All right,
I don't know if you want to get it up. The table.
Excuse me.
The table. If you want to get the Premier League table up, if we win and Villa win tomorrow, look at that gap in the Premier League. What it'll look like. I don't know if you want to get it up and have a look.
Right,
James, are you
I am
frozen?
just looking now. Right, so Villa are in 9th place, 27 points and 41 points. 27 played, 41 points, and we're 28 played. So they've got a game in hand. So if they were to win the game in hand, I don't know who that game in hand's against. They obviously go to 44, so they're 4 points off of us at that stage. Oh, hang on. What's just happened there?
No, I don't know.
Where did you go? Where's Fat Boy? Fat Boy was on a clock, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was on a clock. This is
So look, if you look at that big points gap, even between Everton, like what we'll have. That's a very interesting. If we've just got to cheer on Villa
to get the result. That's the thing. We need to set up positively. I mean, Steve's come back to me on we were talking about Declan Rice earlier.
Yeah.
When I asked the question, I believe he's world class already.
Yeah.
So Steve's come back and gone, talent-wise and ability, he tends to agree, but what he needs is experience at the highest level. International, Champions League, well, hopefully he'll get that with us. You never know. Where he will make mistakes and improve, you can't teach experience. I agree with that, but I don't necessarily believe that you have to play Champions League football to be world class. I mean, was Matthew Letizia a world class player? I believe he was. Again, my opinion. I believe Matthew Letizia was a world class player. I think he had 7 international caps, and he certainly never played European competition. But no, I take his point on board. I mean, he's getting international experience as it is. But yeah, I mean, I agree that testing yourself at the highest level that you can. But how much European football did Bobby Moore play? Not really that much. I think he had two seasons. Obviously, the Cup Winners' Cup season that we won in 64-65, and then the following season when we defended the trophy. I'm pretty sure that were the only 2 European. I know it's a different era. I get that, but you know the point I'm trying to make. But Kent's come back with a Sorry about that, Andy.
Yeah.
Just
No, that's right.
he's come back with an Arsenal goal, and I don't know if you remember this one, but Zamora's goal at Highbury was class. Highbury's last game 3-2 to us. Campbell went off at half time. Yes, he did. I remember that.
And that was when Campbell made the mistake for Ria Coker, wasn't it? When Ria Coker went through, wasn't it? We went 2-0. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. Zamora, did you see his 11 today? Have you watched that yet?
I have. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was surprised at a few of them. I mean, I'm not being funny. I mean, he put Stephen Bywater in goal, and I was sitting there thinking, well, hang on, what about Rob Green? Again, just my opinion.
Yeah, I think the only reason why he's probably done that was probably the more games he's probably played. But yeah, no, that did surprise me. But I think it's more with ex-players, he's probably picked that for his mates as well, sort of thing. Apparently, Greeno's a bit of a weirdo, isn't he? A bit of a weirdo, apparently.
Yes, I've heard he's a bit of an acquired taste, shall we say. So,
but he's a very good pundit. I liked him on that Leeds game. I really enjoyed him as a pundit. I'm just trying to think of other Arsenal goals. What was good to remember? I'm trying to think. Can you think of any?
Well, how often do we sort of come away from an Arsenal game where we've actually got a result that makes us remember? I mean, it's all very well sort of like us scoring a goal, but if it was in like, I remember the first time we played them in a league fixture, certainly at London Stadium, we lost 5-1. Now, I've got no real memory of the goal that we scored. For all I know, it could have been a Maradona-esque goal from deep sort of thing, going round sort of 20 players, you know, and all the rest of it. Yeah. But we lost 5-1. I don't remember the goal.
One of the best goals I've seen them score was with that Henry one in that 2-2 the season we went down. Do you remember that one when he just spinned Christian Daly?
I've got a story about that game.
Oh, have you? I
missed that game. I missed
that
game because that was the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. We was 2-1 up. We got a penalty. Freddie Canute took the penalty, and I think it was saved by David Seaman.
It was shocking penalty.
Do you know what was going on in my life that particular moment?
You were getting married, weren't you?
Yep. Yep.
Did you have? Oh, was you getting text? Was you on this as it was happening?
I had an earpiece.
Did you?
I had an earpiece radio straight up. Me and my best man, right? We're both hammers. My best mate Rob, and he might be watching this. You never know.
Hi, Rob.
But yeah, we was I got the wedding all organised and this, that, and the other. And for some strange, inexplicable reason, it never. You know, when the missus come to me and said, "Oh, we've got the church booked for this day" and all the rest of it, I never sort of like sat there and questioned it. I never sort of thought Premier League seasons. Then it just didn't enter my head, and then all of a sudden the fixtures were released. And as I remember it, I think Arsenal were the Premier League champions going into that season. They'd won it the season before.
Yeah, that
was a massive.
It was
that was 2 years later.
No, they were carrying on. Oh, was it? I thought.
Yeah, the Invincible season was 2004.
Ah, my bad.
But no, that's cool. But I always remember that because, like I say, I was standing at the altar. I had the earpiece in, and we were 2-0 up, and I'm sitting there like. And then, of course, they got a goal and it was 2-1. And then we got the penalty and then we missed it. And then it was 2-2. And then, of course, you know, you sit there and it's a bit of a sliding doors moment because you sort of sit there and you think, well, what confidence would that have given us if we'd have beaten the champions? What could we have gone on to achieve? That's it. Yeah, I think we'd gone to Newcastle, hadn't we, the week before, and we got beat 4-0, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
So, Steve's come back at me. He says, I make a fair point on Rice. Listen, Steve, it's an opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right, and I never do. You know, as I always stress, it's my opinion. I just look at Declan, and I don't see many teams that he doesn't walk into and improve. Very few. The ones that you might make a case that maybe he doesn't improve them. So I'm talking the likes of Bayern Munich. I'm talking the likes of Manchester City. Beyond that, Barcelona, Madrid, PSG. Debatable. But okay, let's throw this to you, Andy. And if anyone in the chat wants to join in, help yourself. If Declan Rice walks into a team and doesn't improve it, does he make it any worse?
It all depends, though, Gatesy, the way teams played. Like, in my opinion,
don't forget he's quite versatile because he can play central mid or he can play defense. I mean, I seriously do. I think he's already world class. But again, I think I'm not saying I know. I think he's world class. It's my opinion. He's world class right now. And the thing is, he's 22, so he's still got another 5 years, maybe 6 years there or thereabouts till he hits what you would consider to be his prime years. So how good can this kid become?
The only thing, in my opinion, what's lacking for him is his goals. I think he should score more. He's got a good shot on him. He's proved, and he has been a bit unlucky with a few shots. But I think he fits perfectly for a Man City team. I could see Man City getting even better of having him and, not that they need it in all the games, but having him and Rodri in there. Do you know what I mean? That will give more license, like the way we play. You sit with a two holding and allow him to have the ball. The only team, any team will improve. Any team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not many holding midfield players, well, he's not even a holding midfield player. He's a box-to-box midfield player. And him and Souček, I think Declan Rice wouldn't be where he is today without Souček. He's put him up.
Yeah, definitely. Because they've got that little partnership going, haven't they? Where one will go, the other will sort of sit and cover for them. And then the next time, they've got this lovely little partnership going. Steve's made a point here. What do you think of the links Rice to Manchester United?
No, never going to happen. Never going to happen.
I don't see him going to Manchester United, Steve. Again, I think if he leaves us, I still say it's Chelsea, because I just think that the emotional pull, he's a family of Chelsea fans and all the rest of it. I think if there's a team he's leaving us for, I can't see him going north personally. He's just, I believe he's just completed the building of his home in Banstead in Surrey. He's from Kingston, so Banstead's only down the road. He had this house that was purpose built for him and his girlfriend. So I don't see him having just sort of like settled down into a new home, clearing off up the M1, up the M6, and sort of signing a 5-year contract with Manchester United. To be honest, I still think Chelsea are the danger. But if we can sort of offer him some European football, I really don't see he's going anywhere anytime soon. For me, what do you think?
No, I don't. Even if Chelsea come calling, I honestly don't think Abramovich will want to spend that amount of money on Rice.
Yeah, Pete, your phone's still not working, mate. I don't know what's going on with your phone. I'm trying to get you on. Trust me, something's not right here. Something's not right.
No, I can't see it. Like you said, Chelsea is the only club for me where I can see him going, but I don't think it will, to be honest.
Yeah. Kent's come back at us. It was a goal from Carroll Gatesy in the 5-1. I think we was 2-0 up versus Arsenal in 0-2. Yes, we were. As I say, I was standing at the altar, Kent, with a radio earpiece in the ear roll. And as I say, it's like I'm trying to concentrate on the vicar, and it's like, do you take? And all I can hear in the background is sort of like in the ear roll is like,
Did you score when it was down the altar? Imagine it. You may kiss the
I know it. That almost happened, but luckily I got away with it. But no, it was comical. It was comical that I'm sort of like at the altar, and I'm trying to sort of concentrate on what the priest is saying. And I really didn't have a clue what was going on because all I'm concentrating on is how the game was unfolding.
I was right, Gatesy.
What's that?
Right, Gatesy. Yeah, Wayne Rooney stopped the long unbeaten run that season. It was the Invincibles.
No, because don't forget, if it was the Invincibles, that was because Rooney, hang on, I'm fairly sure that in 2002, Kent, correct me if I'm wrong, Rooney was still at Everton.
2002, 2000. That's the year we went down. I'm trying to think now.
The unbeaten season, the season where they were the Invincibles was 03-04. Definite. And Rooney scored to end that run, I think, at 49 games, if I remember rightly, in the game at Old Trafford that they lost 2-0. And Rooney did indeed score, but that was a couple of seasons later.
Oh, right. So, sorry, Gates. Yeah, I see what you mean. Because of the Invincibles, but their long unbeaten run. Yeah, sorry, that makes sense now.
Here's a little boring stat for you. When they won the title in 01-02, which is like I say, this was when they were defending champions that we were going against. They actually won. They won it, and they were unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. They lost 3 games at Highbury, but they were unbeaten away. But the Invincible season was 2 years later.
Did you know that stat in that 01-02 season as well? They scored in every Premier League game.
They did. They won it at Old Trafford of all places.
I know.
Silva and Viltord. So Kent's come back. Rice is worth at least 150 million now to us. I agree. I think he reads the game like Carrick, and Carrick was the most underrated English midfielders in the last 25 years. Every team he left, they missed him. 30 England caps, I think, wasn't it, Kent? I mean, that's ridiculous. It's almost an insult to the guy. I mean, you're right. There was not a team that Carrick left and they replaced him with someone of a suitable quality. He is the most, everybody goes on about Paul Scholes being, and listen, I'm a massive Paul Scholes fan. I think he was brilliant. But do I think that Carrick was a million miles away from that? The only thing I would say that Paul Scholes had that he was significantly better at Michael Carrick than was goal scoring. But having said that, flipping it on its head, Michael Carrick could tackle and Paul Scholes couldn't. So.
Right, yeah. Oh,
do you think anyone in the Prem will do the Invincibles again? Well, let's put it this way, Steve. In Premier League era, it's only happened once. In the entire history of league football, going back to 1888, it has only happened twice. And that was in 1888 when it was done by Preston North End. So
I think Man City would do it one year.
Really? That's a big call because obviously you've got European competition that could. I mean, listen, if they did it, it would be absolutely magnificent. But like I say, it's something that's only ever happened in league football twice in 140 odd years. So it's really rare. It's a really rare thing. If it happens again in my lifetime or your lifetime, then we've witnessed something truly special. Kent's come back. So what we got? We got Everton in off the bar, Gatesy. The first Toffee goal stopped that run, and he stopped the Invincibles run as well. Yeah, he did. As I say, that was, I believe, though, that was season 04-05 because the Invincibles season was 03-04.
Yeah.
So Molesy's going to check it. So guys, so you guys that are in the chat still, and I'm gonna go with Moyesy as well. So Moyesy, talk me through tomorrow. What do you think? Are we? What's the scoreline? Who's scoring? Give me your predictions.
I think we're going to win 3-2.
Cool. I'll take that.
I think Arsenal will score first. I reckon Odegaard will score. I've just got a feeling he's just going to turn it up.
34. That's disgusting.
I think we'll equalise. I think Antonio will equalise. And then I think we'll go 2-1 down. I think Aubameyang will come on and score quite early on in the second half. Then a Declan Rice penalty to equalise. And then in the 90th minute, Mr. Lingard, come on,
beautiful.
Got a goal.
Beautiful. Oh, you couldn't script it any better, could you?
I would love Lingard.
That would be beautiful.
James. The only downside would be we're not there.
Yeah, I know. But we're used to that now. We've had that for about the last year. Need to bounce back with a result tomorrow. Jenks, listen, I'll tell you what. That is true. But for me, almost, I don't know whether it's more important or not. I think we need a performance. first and foremost. If we got a performance and a result, fantastic. But if we come off the pitch, like I say, with at least a performance, I'd probably accept it. But yeah, so a 3-2. So like I say, you guys in the chat, get your predictions in. Tell us the score. Give us scorers. I've said I think it's going to be 2-1. I think we're winning it 2-1. Goal scorers. If it's the team that if the two teams that I've put forward as my predictions are the teams that take to the pitch, I think we're scoring first.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Jesse Lingard to get the opener. I think they're equalising through Nicolas Pepe. And I think ours is going to be an Aaron Cresswell free kick. Looking into my crystal ball. So,
I like Kent's one.
Look at this. 3-2 to us. Lingard, Antonio, Dawson, just for young Jake. And Steve, listen, you're being really honest here, mate. Not a clue. I haven't been able to predict this season at all. We're 5th in March. Didn't see that coming. Steve, you're sitting on the fence. Come on. Take them splinters out your backside. Give us a prediction. Come on. Listen, it's just a game. It's just for poops and giggles, mate. Come on. Are we winning? Draw? Come on. Fill your boots. Jenks, you as well, mate. Come on. Don't let me down. He's my cousin. That's what it is. So, but listen, I think, like I say, we've got to attack it. If it doesn't come off for us tomorrow, but we've had a bloody good go, I'd accept it. I mean, that's just me. But we just need to sort of like get the momentum going again. I'm just painfully aware that momentum's a massive thing in sport, as I said earlier. So we need to try and get a little bit of more positive momentum going. Because obviously once this game's done, was it? We're down to the last 9.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, Gatesy, at home, we've been amazing. Like you said, our home record, it's been amazing. And I don't fear anyone at home.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really don't. And the game what I fear more, I don't really fear Arsenal tomorrow. It's the Leicester one what I fear the most. That's the one I'm fearing. 2-1. Yes, like it, Steve. Come on.
There we go. Steve, who's scoring though, mate? Come on, give us score prediction. Peach, your phone.
You can imagine what he's like as well, can't you? He's like
he's probably back home in Toronto doing his absolute pieces. He's probably swearing and all sorts. He's throwing his phone against the wall and effing and blinding at it. He's probably watching us on YouTube and he's like, for Christ's sakes. So, but listen,
what you got for dinner, Gatesy? What you got for dinner?
Sorry, mate?
What you got for dinner?
No, I don't get involved in that. It just turns up in front of me. And I go, thank you.
I got Chinese tonight again. Chinese.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. What we got here, Steve? No pressure then. No, none at all, mate. It's like I say, it's all a giggle here. We don't take it too seriously. We like Lingard and Fornals. I like it. I do think Lingard is, because obviously he's had a bit of rest. I mean, he's got 4 goals in 6 games. He's had a nice little bit of rest. I still think he'll be quite sharp. But yeah, I like I say, I think he's scoring. I mean, everybody has. I mean, I've said he's going to score. You said he's going to score, didn't you?
Yeah.
So Kent said there he's put Lingard to score. Steve's gone Lingard. So hang on, Jenks has come back. Come on, what are you saying to me? I predict a defensive start and we get beat. Hope not. Just a feeling. Great season so far, but we're due a bad patch. Do you know what? I was on Hammer's Polls this morning with Fat Boy and Jazz, and Jazz said the same thing. He said we've not had a bad run of league games. Are we due it, Milesy?
No. Because we're West Ham.
Thank you.
That's
the right answer.
We're not. I honestly can't. I don't think Moyes will take it. Like, do you know what I mean? I think I can't see it personally. I really can't.
Steve just come back. Last 3 games of the season are crucial for us, all winnable. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm looking at the fixtures right here. I'll tell you what, we'll go through it, Milesy, right? So you've already said 3-2 win tomorrow. So away from home against Wolves. What are your thoughts?
That's going to be a narrow. That's going to be a narrow 1-0 win.
Okay, so that's another 3 points. So we've got 6 points out of the next 2 games, if your predictions are correct, Milesy. We're just going to have a little bit of a sort of little game here. Leicester City at home.
Draw.
Win, lose, or draw.
Draw.
Okay, so that's now 7. So Newcastle away.
Draw.
Okay, 8 points. West Ham, Chelsea.
Lose.
Okay, so we're still on 8. Away to Burnley.
Win.
That's 11 points. At home to Everton.
Draw.
12 points. Away to Brighton.
Draw.
13. Away to West Brom.
Win.
So that's 16. Am I right? Hang on, I've lost count.
Yeah.
16? Yep.
Yeah.
At home to Southampton.
Win.
Okay, so that's 19 points, Milesy.
Yeah.
We're on 48. So that would take us to 67 points.
Champions League. Champions League.
There you go. There you go. Hang on, Peach, what's going on? Yo, my internet connection is mashed up. Well, we kind of knew something wasn't right. You kept popping up in the little green room there, and I'm clicking on it like mad, and I'm like, come on, mate, in you come. And it's just not happening, mate. You know, what can you do? However, I like this. Peach, 5-1 win. Oh, mate, I tell you what, you are super positive. But you can't leave me hanging, mate. Who's getting the goals? Come on, put some meat on the bones. Play the game.
Can I imagine watching Arsenal fan TV if that was a 5-1 win?
Oh, they'd go nuts, wouldn't they? They'd go absolutely potty. Steve, Jenks, and Ken, if you're still in the chat, Milesy reckons we're getting, what was it? We worked it out, 67 points?
Yeah.
Okay. Any of you lads there, what do you think?
Oh,
give me
come
your
back
points total. In fact, Peach, Ken, what we got? I had us to finish on 73, I think, when I did it. Okay. Well, listen, 73 points, that's enough, surely, for Champions League, isn't it? That has to be. Has to be. I did it a few weeks back, and I think I got us to 70 points. And I thought I was being realistic. But I had us on 70 points. So Kent's really, really sort of pushing it. But listen, you could be right, and I hope you are, because if we got to 73 points, that has to be Champions League, doesn't it? Steve's come back. He's gone. I had us known 69 points. I'd take that. So, I mean, we're all pretty much the same sort. I mean, you've gone 67. Steve's gone 69. I'm 70. Kent's. Oh, hang on. No, he meant 60. Hang on. I meant on 69. Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool. 69 points. So we're all pretty much there or thereabouts. So
yeah,
unless something really strange happens. So what we got here? Hang on. Peach reckons the scorers are going to be Ben Rama 2. Wow. I tell you what, I'd take that, Peach. 2 for Ben Rama,
yes.
1 for Bowen, 1 for Souček, and 1 for Antonio. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? You know, a 5-1 win, and you've got a guy scoring not just his debut goal, but following it up with a second goal, scoring a brace. And then a guy who's on a little bit of a, you know, confidence-wise, a little bit of a poor run, and he gets a goal. That, I'll tell you what, Peach, if that happens, mate, yeah, I'll tell you what, put a couple of quid on it. Yeah, I don't know what the Canadian equivalent of Bet365 is, or whether you even have Bet365 over there, mate. I'll tell you what, put a couple of quid on that, or dollars, whatever. Yeah, it's dollars, isn't it, in Canada?
Yeah.
So,
right. I've just had a look. So when we finished 5th, we only got 57 points when we finished 5th.
Did we?
That's mad.
I didn't remember that.
10 points behind Leeds in 4th. 67 points they got. 4th.
I think that was the season. Is that the season? Ken, if you're still there, mate, because I could look on the internet, but I just can't be asked. and he'll probably know straight off the bat.
Yeah.
The season that we finished 5th, is that same season that we got beat at home by Leeds 5-1 and we had 3 players sent off? I got a funny feeling that was that season. Hang on. Steve's just popped up.
Yeah,
I got a funny feeling it is. Lingard will have a big part to play. I think you're right, Peach.
1st of May. Yeah, 1st of May, we lost 5-1.
Yeah, I think Ian Wright got sent off. If I remember rightly, Ian Wright was the first player that got sent off. And he did his nut on the pitch. He wanted to get at the referee and everything. And when he went off, the story goes that he went into the referee's changing room and smashed it up.
And then we lost 6-0 away to Everton the week after.
Did we? I forgot all about that one. Mind you, I'll probably not want to remember it in fairness. 11 goals in 2 consecutive games.
And then the last game of the season, we won 4-0 at home to Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Lampard, Keller, Sinclair and Di Canio. I love Mark Keller.
Yeah. He was decent. He was. I think he was quite underrated. That team in sort of like the late 90s, I thought was brilliant. If we could have kept all them players together, who knows? Who knows what we could have done? Because you look at it.
Sorry, I'm just looking. You've got me looking at results. The 5-1 win at Derby. Di Canio, Berkovic, Wright, Ruddock, and Sinclair.
Nice. Steve, I said to my son not long ago, if we ever won the Premier League, he would see me cry like a baby. Champions League will be a close second. Oh, mate, if we ever won the Premier League. But Leicester did it. Leicester did it. So, Ken, he's come back to me. Yes, it was. Yep. No, I say I had a vague recollection that was that season. It was a crazy, crazy season. But he also goes on to ask the question, was Rob Harris the referee? Yes, it was. That I do remember. He was sort of like, he had a beard, like a gingery sort of beard. Ugly sod. Wasn't a very good ref, actually. But yes, it was Rob Harris. It wasn't Neil Barry. It was definitely Rob Harris. I remember that. In fact, I would actually say he refereed. It was probably more like Rolf Harris, but that's another story.
So the game, what was that Derby County, the game, or Kent would be able to tell me, the one when they done the celebration, when the Ruddock pushed right to reenact Di Canio?
No. That was before we signed Di Canio.
Oh,
that was before we signed Di Canio, and I got a funny feeling it was a home game. I know that. I think we won 1-0, and I'm trying to remember for the life of me who it was. Kent will pop up in a minute. He'll pop up in a minute, and he'll say it was.
I remember that. That was hilarious. That celebration, because he proper.
Was it? Was it Derby? You got me thinking now, Milesy. I'm not too sure. I know it was a 1-0 win, and he scored, and it was Razor that pushed him over, and he fell down. And then a couple of weeks later, who walks through the door? Di Canio. And I remember hearing the story. And apparently, he's got, "You bloody bastard! You will take it to peace." Any Italians that are watching, it's just an accent, okay? I might have done it badly, but it's just an accent. Don't get the ump.
And the Ukrainians when I slagged off Yarmolenko, all the donkeys earlier.
Oh, what happened? Go on, talk to me.
No, we was talking about Yarmolenko again, weren't we? When Duke said we apologise for all of the Ukrainian fans when we slagged him off.
Yeah. Well, as I say, we had Jake on doing his tier list a little while ago, and he wasn't very complimentary of Yarmolenko. I don't think he's his favourite player. It's fair to say, but I had a little wind up with him because I think at the time we had 53 subscribers. 53 whole subscribers, and I wound him up a little bit and said that of those 53 subscribers, 52 of them were from the Ukrainian donkey sanctuary, and they'd all cleared off. I got a bit of good news though. I say that, 53 subscribers. That seems like a long, long time ago because I've just looked. You know how many we got right now?
Go on, mate. Tell me.
156.
Oh,
how'd you like those onion people?
You had 100. That's six. That's six today, then, isn't it? Was it 150 the other day?
I think it was about that. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. We've had a lot of help from a lot of people who've, given us a push. I mean, Russ at My Hammers 11 and Gio did a shout out the other day on a it was a live stream he did. And I did a little thing in the chat saying, would you consider it cheeky if? And do you know what? Bless him. He did it. He said, go and follow Falls from Iron, we know Gatesy, we know Duke, blah blah blah, brilliant, and it's one of those things that I'm a little bit funny about, sort of like, should I ask that question, because it's like, am I, encroaching on their territory and all the rest of it? But you know what, he could have quite easily just ignored my comment and scrolled on and just basically, piss off. But Gio, bless him, he read it out, and I was like, oh wow. I mean, Jake's been a great help. Anton, who I had on yesterday on the tier list, and I
haven't watched that one yet. I haven't watched Anton's.
Do you know what? That was supposed to come out at 1:30 this afternoon, but I must have been quite tired yesterday afterwards, and I said it come out at 1:30 in the morning. Just like, what are you doing? So hang on, what we got here? So I got Steve, cameo. Do cameo, high risk, but ultimately brilliant signing.
Yeah, the cameo was,
Oh, right. Risk. Sorry. Yeah. So sorry, my fault. I was just trying to work. Yeah. So listen, Di Canio, I believe, in my opinion, the greatest player I've ever seen in Claret and Blue.
Yeah.
Live. I think if Payet had have stayed for a bit longer, I think I might have had a bit more of a decision to make, but because Payet was only with us for 18 months, I don't think I can really say that it's anyone other than Di Canio. What about yourself, Moyesy?
Yeah, I agree. It's close, but for atmosphere and impact, I remember the comeback game when Payet come back.
I think it was Southampton, by the way. Kent's popped up. The game where he pushed over, Razor pushed over Righty was Southampton.
Yeah.
So I knew he'd know that. And when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember it now. But Kent's like an encyclopedia.
He needs to go on Mastermind.
Google it. Do you know what? He should do something on West Ham. Ken, honestly, you got to, mate. You got so much knowledge about West Ham. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, but listen, Moyesy, I think we're going to wrap it up there, mate. We've been waffling. Yeah, no. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. Just before we do, there's another comment here. Right header past Paul Jones. Yes, Paul Jones. He was, if I remember rightly, Ken, help me out here. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Was Paul Jones the goalkeeper for Stockport when Ian Dowie got the own goal that knocked us out at their place in the League Cup in about 96? I'm sure Paul Jones was the goalkeeper. Let me know. Steve, best player he ever saw live, Trevor Brooking. Now, I only saw Trevor Brooking play once.
Did you?
Once. I only ever saw him play once. However, it was quite a good game. Now, this is where Gonzo and I have something in common. Well, about a month or so ago, do you remember on Hammers Chat, they had a Gonzo put something out where it was the last season at Upton Park, and he had a load of footage and he put it out and blah, blah, blah. And there was this bit where Gonzo was walking around the pitch and he was talking into the camera, obviously. And he was saying about, this is the South Bank, but sorry, not the South Bank, the Trevor Brooking stand. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So this is the Trevor Brooking stand, but it used to be the North Bank, blah, blah, blah. And this is where I stood when I came to my first game with my dad. And I was like, okay, fine. And then when he said that the game, that it was his first game, I was like, because it was my first game as well. His first game and my first game was the same match. And it was the game West Ham United 10, Bury 0, which is still to this day our record victory. Now, what a game to go to. You stop and think about that. I mean, I think Gonzo's maybe a year, 2 years older than me. But you stop and think about that. There was two kids there, at least, that was watching that as their first match. And it's the record victory in their history up to that point, and still is. And you imagine as a kid, you're sitting there watching that, and it's like that must be the best team in the world. We soon learned.
My first West Ham game we lost. A lot of people seems to be like a lot of people's first West Ham games you win. So I think I learned the hard way and then got used to it.
But Trevor Brooking, as I say, Steve, I only ever saw him once. My old man obviously saw him a lot, and he said he was. And I know the stories are that sort of like he could move one way, the other, sell a dummy, get the defenders going the wrong way, and he's not even touched the ball.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well,
I mean,
talking of Trev, that flashes that with his Isla bracelet. Did you see that?
Oh, what's that? No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, on Isla's thing, 4 people have got the Isla's thing. So him, Di Canio, Adrian, and Creswell, they're wearing them already. They're coming out soon, aren't they?
Okay. Ken's back. He's come back at me. Yes, he was the Stockport goalie. Dave Jones was the gaffer of that team who took Jones to Southampton. Yeah, I thought so. I vaguely remembered him being in goal for that one. Not a night that, goes down in our history too well. But Steve, my first game, 1974. Yeah, mine was 25th of October, 1983 was my first game. I was on my dad's shoulders watching Tony Cotty get 4 and Trevor Brooking got 2. I can't remember who got the other goals. And Kent's jumped in. He's come up with the point I was going to make. Berry, we bought Hilton after that. Isn't that incredible? We've just beaten a team 10-0. Yeah, Kent, let us know your first game, mate. We built Paul Hilton. Can you imagine that? I mean, sort of like you've just beaten a team 10-0 and you go, I know what we'll do. We'll buy that player there. It's like they've just been roasted by you, for God's sake.
Yeah.
How?
I think, Gatesy, I don't know about you. I preferred it back in the day when you could just buy anyone whenever you wanted. I don't believe in the flipping transfer windows.
Now, it's interesting you say that because I've been doing a little bit of research and I've got to be careful what I say because this is a project that you and me are involved in. Stum. But all I'll say is that I've been doing a bit of research to do with a project that we're involved in that's going to be upcoming. Yeah. Keep your eyes out, people. Keep your eyes out because this will be a little bit of nostalgia. So for you older supporters, Moyesy, this sort of predates even him. But a few of you older lads like me and maybe even older people like Steve, with the greatest respect, mate, don't turn off. I'm not calling you an old git or anything. Just stay there, just your experience. You're a veteran. There you go. I think I've got away with it. Hope so. Sorry, Steve. But yeah, we're doing a little project and I was doing a little bit of research and, sort of like saying about the transfer window. Yeah. In season 1986-87, which is the season after we finished third, right? Yeah. Do you know how many signings we made in the summer between the season we finished third and the following season?
None.
Correct. Made no signings, right? Yeah. We made our first signing in the January, which was Stuart Robson, right? Right. But get this, we made 3 signings 2 months later. So in March, we made 3 signings. Can you imagine doing that? You can't do that now. You do it, January the 31st, bang. What you've got is what you got. You just got to go with it.
I think maybe they could split it up
in March.
I think maybe they could split it up and have like 3 windows. So you have one in like December to January, and then you have one like February to March or something.
Best memory, Alan Devonshire home debut. We beat Spurs 5-3. Well, listen, it's always a good memory when we beat Spurs, isn't it, Steve? It's got to be, Yeah. So, Kent's Mr. Britannica, says Peach. I tell you what, you're not wrong. Honestly, he is literally a walking encyclopedia of West Ham knowledge. Steve, you're not ancient. You're experienced. Okay? You're experienced. Ken, 4-0 win versus Norwich in the relegation season. Was that 91-92?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, he wrote underneath.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that. Did Matthew Rush get 2 goals? Am I going mad, Kent? Was 2 of those 4 goals Matthew Rush? I think didn't he get one It was a corner, and he got his head on it. I'm sure that's the one. He's going to come back to me in a minute. He's going to come back to me. But yeah, I mean, I say that was my first game. If we're going on games though, Milesy, what's let's have a chat. Fuck it, whatever. What's the best game you've ever been to? I'm talking a home game. Watching West Ham, what was the best game that you've ever seen?
For moments, obviously the last game at the Bowling, you can never take that away. I'm glad I'm thinking, but it doesn't really. It's a hard one to pick, but it was in that season as well. It would have to be the win against Chelsea when Carroll scored the header. The winner.
Oh, yeah. That was a good game.
The reason why was I think that was when we looked around and was like, yeah, this is going to be a good season. For atmosphere as well, it will probably have to be the Liverpool win when we beat them in the FA Cup when Bonner scored the winner.
Oh, the 2-1.
Because I've not really been a season ticket holder long. Like I used to go to the odd games, but yeah, for atmosphere. But the one I wish would have to be. Let me think. Well, I wish I was there. Was Steve, the Ipswich? Was Ipswich when Everton scored in the playoffs semi-final? Okay,
Steve. If that statement's correct, you need to get out more, mate. No, listen. The best game that I ever saw, or the most entertaining game. I mean, I could turn around and say, I mean, I was there in Cardiff in 2005 when we beat Preston Zamora scored to get us promoted. I was obviously there at the last game at the Boleyn, but I would probably say that if I had to pick a game where I went, what was the game that you had the most entertainment value out of? West Ham 5, Bradford 4.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely crazy game. I swear to God, right? Now, I think, and Kent's going to jump in. He's going to tell me whether I'm right or wrong, because I think Bradford only had 2 seasons in the Premier League. They survived the first season. They were relegated the second. That was it. I can't remember if this was their first or their second season. I've got a funny feeling it was the second. I got a funny feeling this is the season they went down. But we went 2-0 up. I think John Moncur got the first. I think if I remember rightly, he's hit the ball and slipped basically at the same time. And it flew into the.
Then he gave away a penalty.
Yeah. What was the name of the goalkeeper? Matt Clark. He was the Bradford goalkeeper who at the time a lot of people were talking about could have played for England, but he didn't. Anyway, so I think we went 2-0 up, and then they pegged it. They started coming back, and I think at one point we were 4-2 down. And whilst all this was going on, Shaka, who was our goalkeeper, broke his leg. Yeah. And then Stephen Bywater comes on for his debut. And honestly, he was so nervous. You know, he was.
You see how big his shirt was? It was like, do you know the one when you get the last in the bag when you play football? Yeah.
Honestly, it was just like, and we were 4-2 down at home, and you're sitting there. And I remember because obviously I was there, and the stories they were true. I mean, you know, Di Canio, he got fouled blatantly in the box. Once, twice, 3 times, and after the third one, he's like, "Nah, I've had enough of this," and he literally just sat down there, and I'm going on strike, sort of thing. He did a Payet, but he did it in the middle of a match. He just sort of, "Nah, I'm not interested," and then obviously he come back, and I'm trying to remember. I think he obviously had the argument with Frank about the penalty, didn't he? Where they're sort of like, and he obviously won that battle, and I think.
Lampard got the winner, didn't he?
Lampard got the winner. Yeah, I'm sure Lampard got the winner. I think Joe Cole got the equaliser. Kent will put it in a minute. But yeah, no, that was the game that for me, if I had to pick a game, if I could only see one more game again, that would be it, because that had everything. Absolutely,
I'd have to say as well, that sort of era was the 4-3 win against Sheffield Wednesday as well. Because of Di Canio as well. Do you remember that one? Lampard got the winner in that one as well at home.
Okay.
That was a very good game. They were winning as well. They went up and then we come back as well.
The five was ridiculous, honestly. Kent's come back, rushed 2 headers from, I thought so. I vaguely remembered it. Yeah, Dick's penalty. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, love it. Jenk,
right.
for those of you who don't know, this is my cousin. My first game, 1984. So you was a year later than me, Dave. We beat Spurs 4-1. What an introduction. What an introduction, Jenks. Honestly, that is sweet.
That's class.
Your first game. So Steve's come back. I'm shielding. I would love to get out more. Listen, if you're shielding, mate, just don't push your luck. You know what I mean? Just keep yourself safe. You know, it's not worth it. So, you know, but you must be bored. Am I allowed to swear? Yeah, it's my stream. Yeah, you must be bored shitless. You know, I mean, but do my head in just sort of being stuck indoors. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ken, I have to go for the playoff semi-final 0-3. Do you know what? I was there that night, right? And because that was we was 1-0 down from the first leg. And I think it was Darren Bent that scored for them at Portman Road, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And then we brought it back under the lights at Upton Park, and we absolutely battered them. Their best player in the first half was their goalkeeper, Kelvin Davis. He was pulling off slaves left, right, and centre. You know, and you're just sitting there thinking,
Lomas hit the bar on that game as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Lomas hit the bar.
I think Christian Daly had a shot that Davis turned away, and Repka, I think, might have had a. Anyway, and then obviously the second half comes, and Carrick took the corner, cuts it, to Everington, who cuts inside and just let it go, and it just arrowed towards the top corner.
Where was you sitting, Gabe, in that
ground
game?
Exploded. Sorry?
Where was you sitting?
Bobby Moore lower.
Oh, so you were right behind it. Wow.
Yeah. I was literally in line with, the trajectory of the ball. I was right in line with it. And the funny thing is, a strange coincidence, and this wasn't planned out, and you think, there was 35,000 people in the ground at that time. 2 rows in front of me was my younger brother with his then girlfriend.
No way.
And we hadn't spoken about it. That was my season ticket. He didn't have a season ticket. He managed to get a ticket for the game. He never told me. I didn't have a clue. I rocked up there. Oh. What are you doing here? But honestly, I mean, he's right. That game, I think,
I wish I was there.
If I had to pick the 2 best atmospheres that I've ever been involved in, it would be that one. And I think the only one that arguably ran it close was the last game at Upton Park. So, what's this? First season, David Weatherall kept them up versus Liverpool. Aidan Davison was Bradford goalie versus us. Was it really? I thought it was Matt Clark. Okay. Oh, listen, I'm not going to argue with you.
Young Jake.
Hello. Isn't it past your bedtime? Shouldn't you be peeling spuds or something? I'll tell you what. I have put it out there a few times. I'll tell you what. Just because it's you, Jake, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There you go. Knock yourself out. If you want to jump on, mate, you're more than welcome. And that's open to anybody that's in the chat or anyone that's watching.
Yeah.
Listen, you got the StreamYard link there. Listen, if you want to come on and have a little chat, why not?
Yeah.
We're all friends here. Kent's come along. Lampard got the winner versus Bradford. Yes. Yeah, I thought he did. They had a player called Jamie Lawrence who always dyed his hair sorts of colour. He scored that day too. I think, if I remember rightly, his hair was red that particular day.
Yeah.
He did. He was a bit like, do you watch darts? Peter Wright. He always comes out and he's got his hair different colours. One day it'll be green, the next day it'll be white, the next day it'll be blue.
Yeah.
And he's right. Jamie Lawrence, he dyed his hair all sorts of weird and wonderful colours, and I'm pretty sure it was red that day.
Yeah. Do you know what gets me, Gatesy?
Yes,
is when the new stand come in at Upton Park and we moved different sides. Didn't it fuck you up when watching it on the telly? It really confused you, Joe, when we switched sides, because it used to be the chicken run, didn't it? That's where all the gantry was and stuff, wasn't it? When the cameras, the sky cameras,
and then they moved it so that the cameras were on the main stand and they were then looking at the east stand, weren't they? Yeah, it was a little bit weird because obviously all the years that you'd had it it was the other way round, where it was on the east stand looking at the old main stand, and then obviously when it all got redone, they swapped it around. But yeah, no, it was it did sort of like make me, this is a bit weird, you know what I mean? You're so used to something and then it changes and you're just like, what's going on? Peach, is your internet still dicking around? I mean, come on, you know. So, but Jake, are you coming on or not? I'll tell you what, you know what it is. He's probably got homework to do. He's probably got homework to do. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, if nobody else wants to come on, I'm going to wrap it up there. So, you know, like I say, this has all been a little bit off the cuff. So we've just made it up as we go along, but stuff it, whatever. Yeah. Duke obviously had a little bit of an issue that he's had to take care of. But those of you that have watched through this, thank you very much for joining Moyesy and me. Moyesy, thanks for coming off the substitutes bench and helping us out. And also thanks to Fat Boy.
Anytime.
And, yep, no, appreciate that, mate. Before I go, because I didn't do it at the beginning, but those of you that are still hanging around probably know what's coming next. So those of you that are watching, Isla Caton, and if you don't know who she is, she's a 6-year-old girl who, oh, hang on, wait a minute, he's broke me mid-stride. Hang on, I'll tell you what, we might hang on a little bit longer because we've got a special guest.
Hey!
Jakey boy.
Hello, boys, right?
You
He's run up the stairs.
Oh, look at this. Is he? He's finally got his internet working.
I got mine working finally, dog. You know what? It worked because Jake came on. Jake is like the magic man. Like Jake comes on, my thing starts up. Big up, Jake, dog.
So I don't get any credit. Is that right? That's brilliant.
You get all the credit, dog. How do you mean? You're the big man, Gatesy. You're the big man, Gatesy Gates. And then you got 100 miles you running. 100 miles you running, dog. NWA things, dog. How do you mean?
So how are we doing, boys?
I'm good. Do you want a secret, Gatesy?
Oh.
Well, if it's a secret, and you're going to tell me and the other two listen, it's not going to be a secret anymore,
really
is it?
It's not
okay.
It's not really a secret, but you know, some people know we had Chinese for tea last night. Guess what was for tea tonight?
Chinese.
Indian.
KFC.
KFC. Do they have KFC
you playing again,
in Somerset?
Jake?
Yeah.
Zinger thing, dog. Zinger. Zing. Yes.
I've got a Chinese
Kentucky
tonight.
Fried, is that Kentucky Fried Cat, Jake?
Oh, dear.
There's not many cats in your neighbourhood, I understand. There's a reason for that.
Oh, no, dog.
You don't have Just Eat, do you?
No. We got to do it the old proper way. We got to go and get it ourselves.
You go into your backyard, do you? And you sort of like you go into the chicken coop and you sort of just wring its neck, sort of thing. Is that how it works? And Mama plucks it. And...
We don't have the luxuries of this Just Eat delivery, all of this rubbish. We got to get in the car, go and get it through the drive-through, back home. There you go. We don't have this Just Eat rubbish.
Get the horses out the farm.
Just Eat the horses, dog. How you mean?
We don't have your city ways.
Yeah.
So how's your day going, Jake? Talk to me.
Yeah, good. Good preview earlier. Stirred things up a bit. Peach, you didn't agree with some of the things said, did you?
Oh, that man was talking a load of nonsense, dog. How do you mean? He was saying like, there was this one man on Jake's show, 40, and homeboy was saying like, oh, you lose against us, then you're just gonna like ramp down the league. I'm like, who's like 9-10 points behind us, dog? Like, it's you. You're 9-10 points behind us, man. Like, he's delusional, man. Delusional, dog.
Best thing you can do is with a situation like that, I find is, you know, you're not going to win an argument against them because they're living in their own little world. Best thing you can do is just go, yeah, all right, mate. Yep, fine. You're right. I'm wrong.
100, 100, man. 100, man.
You know, you're not going to win the argument, so just why waste your oxygen?
Yeah, you know what? I agree.
since you two have joined the party, I was about to wrap it up, but since you two have jumped in, no,
2 hours, 10 minutes, here we come. 2 hours, 10 minutes, here we come. And Duke ain't even here.
I'll tell you what, right? I'm just going to refresh this just in case it's changed in the last 10 minutes. But I'll tell you what, you know where we were about a week or two ago in terms of our subscribers, right?
156.
156 when I looked a minute ago. I'm just refreshing it now just in case because it might have gone up. You never know. It's still 156.
Yeah.
Damn. That's big though, Gatesy. That's massive, man.
Listen, we're just having a laugh.
Glad I could help.
And I laugh, mate.
Oh, and I can't wait to see Duke singing "Sex Bomb" either.
Well, now I still haven't actually discussed with him. He is Steve. He's brilliant. He's an absolute ledge. Listen, as far as that's concerned, I think I'm wondering whether we should.
That's a cider, isn't it? That's cider. No, it is Red Bull.
It's a Red Bull, dog. What? I got wings today, dog. How you mean? I got wings today, dog.
I'll let you boys, because there's three of us. There's three of you here. I'm going to be the casting vote if needed. Do you think, because we did the little thing to say we needed to get 100 subscribers by the end of March, which we obviously did, right? Mm-hmm. Now, should we make him sing at the end of March, or what I think might be better is we wait until his pub opens on the 12th of April, get to the end of the season, and when we play the last match of the season at his pub, he's got to do it there.
I want to be there, man. I want to be there, man.
And we live stream it. What do you think?
In front of the punters.
Yes.
I haven't discussed this with him yet, so when he watches
we're live.
Kill me. But I think it's a good idea.
I think that's a brilliant idea, man.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the question. How well do you know Dartford, Steve? If you know Dartford, it's basically there. There's a road that goes from Dartford town centre towards Bluewater, and basically he's on that. It's a big pub called the Bull. So you can't miss it.
Gatesy, what we'll do is we'll do a live show. I'm going to go down there as well. Sod it. I'll come.
Yeah,
we'll do a live show.
Come on, Moyesy. 100 miles I'm running. How do you mean, man?
So I've already got it from Moyesy. So Jake, talk to me about the game tomorrow. Who's scoring? What's the score going to be? Talk to me.
Oh, well, Peach is going 5-1, but I don't quite think it's going to be 5-1.
100,
man. I think it's going to be tough, but I mean, I think we're going to do them. I really do. I think there we go. There's another one. Me and Peach will sit from our homes, and you guys can see it live. But I think, I think.
Come on, what is it? What is it, Jake? Come on, what is it?
Oh, that motorbike, whatever it was. Well, I really do think we can do them, and I think that we've got enough in the tank as long as Moyes doesn't do what he did last game and puts Noble out and play a 5 at the back. James said on my show earlier, all the big 6, all the good teams who are successful don't play a back 5.
Yeah.
And I think
I got no problem playing a back 5, but it was 8 defensive players.
Yeah, but you can't.
Stomach, but 8.
Gatesy, my G, you cannot play a back 5 without Masuaku, man. You just can't.
I agree. Yeah. He makes that system work better.
Oh, not many.
Yeah, I think Noble drops out, Benrahma comes in. My ideal, I think we've got to go back to a 4-2-3-1. That's what's got us to this position, I think. Especially since Masuaku's been out. We've got the 4 at the back. We've got Cresswell, Soufal, Diop, and Dawson, the one and only. Fabianski in goal. The 2 in the middle, Rice and Souček. And then my front 4 is it's difficult because I think I'm going to go 4 now. Has got to be in there. If he's back. Lingard's got to be in there. Benrahma and Antonio makes it for me. That would be my ideal side. That's the predicted 11 that I put out on my show, and I really do hope to God that that's what he puts out. Because I think if we sit there, I think, what is it, 2:30 kickoff? If we sit here at 1:30 and we've got that starting lineup, I'm going to go on West Ham United and I'm going to say, we're going to win this. We are going to win this.
Go on, Jake.
What's the score going to be?
Yeah.
2-1. 2-1 West Ham. 2-1 West Ham.
Go on. Yo, so that's the same as 100 miles I'm running. Because homeboy was saying, I liked his 3-2. He was saying like about Rice getting a penalty and all. That looked good. That looked realistically good, man. Mine is in dreamland. But like,
I know. Andy, you gave us a very in-depth match report, and I'm going to try and find it. Like, who's going to score? Who's going to score?
That's what I said. I said it to what was it, Gatesy? I said Odegaard, wasn't it? Odegaard will score first.
Yeah.
And Antonio will equalise.
Yeah. And then Rice penalty.
Yeah. And then what was it? We'll go 2-1 down.
Lingard.
I said Aubameyang's going to come off the bench to score for them. Rice will get a penalty and 90th minute winner from Lingard.
Love to see it.
Carlsberg don't do football matches. Steve's made a good point. You won't score many with 8 at the back. You definitely won't, and you won't.
Bring on the Arsenal, dog. Bring on the Arsenal, man. How you mean, man? I want to see Troops and DT and Robbie and all them crying, dog. I want to see them crying, dog. Like, yo, remember my face, dog. If they watch this, remember my face. I want to see y'all blood clot crying about my blood clot gang. We got Ben Rama, blood clot Rama. How do you mean, dog? Straight up, man.
If he plays.
Yeah. Kent's made a point about Arthur Masuaku, that if we're playing 4 back, basically, he becomes surplus to requirements because he's only a wing back, really. What are your thoughts there, Jake?
All I can hear is Peach. All I can hear is Peach.
We'll let him just carry on for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he can only play as a wing back, I think, and I think this is live YouTube, ladies and gents.
This isn't scripted.
He's putting me off.
We're not editing anything out. Mute him.
Yeah, just for 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, cheers. I think he can only play in that back 5, and is that what Moyes wants to do? I don't know, but I think he's going to find it hard to get back in there if we're going to play back 5, because, I mean, is he going to pick Ben Rama? Been a long day, Gatesy. Is he going to pick Johnson over Masuaku? I don't know. Is he going to go youth or is he going to go experience? I don't know. But we'll see. I think I'd like to see Johnson play in... I don't want us to play a back 5, but I think what would do him quite well is, once we're past this season, playing him in the pre-season games, perhaps not against the sides like City, not the sides like United, because I think we can't really play a back 5. I think we've got 3 games after this, haven't we? We've got 3 games. After these 3 games, I think it gets a bit easier, doesn't it? I mean, we can't play a back 5 against them, but if we just play them out, in pre-season, what have we got? I mean, we've got Arsenal, then Wolves, then Leicester, then Newcastle. We should win that. Chelsea, and then it goes a bit downhill. We've got Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. Those last 3 games are winnable games. We could pick up 9 points from those games, and I don't think we need a back 5 in there. We don't need a back 5. So perhaps we've got to play a back 5 against perhaps these bigger sides, but we don't need to in these kind of not littler sides, but not as kind of up there with us. It's weird to say that.
We're above them in the table, so why should we be going into a home fixture when we're the second best Premier League team as far as home form is concerned? We shouldn't be going into it with an inferiority complex. Luke Legend, hi, all bit late. Listen, mate, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Jake,
we were late.
Mate.
We were late.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it.
Oh, have we unmuted
He says he's nervous. Oh, hang on. Sorry, Peach. Sorry, we muted your mic. I'm very sorry about that.
I just seen one of my brethren from like high school, dog, and like homeboy shows up with his like little kitten thing, and I'm like, yo, and he's like, yo, I seen your video, dog. I'm like, yo, I'm doing one with the man them just now, and he's like, yo, big the man them up, and yo, trust me, man, yo, big thing.
Peach, can I ask you one question? When you say you speak to people in the street, do all of them go big up to the man them, or is that just you?
No, that's the man them. How you mean?
Yeah.
Big up to the man them. Trust me. Yo, that's like our thing here in Canada, dog. Big up to the man them. You know what I mean? Like, trust me.
All 3 points that Luke's made there, I completely agree with. Saka, brilliant. Tierney, top player.
Yo, Saka has bags and skills, dog. That man is dangerous. Thank God
if he plays. If he plays.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Louise will be scared Spursless of Antonio.
Gatesy, I didn't see that. Mate. I thought you meant you like the comments. What Luke said. Look, the last one was "See you, Andy." I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
No, I haven't even got to that yet. Dear, oh dear. If we got a decent,
Stell would like that.
A decent replacement. Now,
Stell would like that comment.
Put a little bit of meat on the bones there, mate.
How you mean, man?
What would you consider? Ken, what would you consider a decent bid for Arthur? He's 27 years of age.
Ooh, Arthur Masuaku?
10 million?
15.
15, yeah.
15?
Ooh, Arthur Masuaku, Gatesy?
Yeah. Yeah.
12 to 15, I think, dog.
Yeah, 15 I think is fair. Because, I mean, we've got Johnston.
That's like ceiling high, yeah.
I think if Johnston wasn't getting in the side, so we can't really sell him. But Johnston's coming through now, and I think that he could be his long-term replacement. But he needs to have a game or two. I wouldn't say the Premier League now because all of these games are big games. But as I said earlier, with the pre-season, Moyes needs to experiment a bit and see whether other things work. I don't really think he can do that now because I think he needs to stick to what we know now and then perhaps give the youngsters a chance in pre-season because this is massive for West Ham. These last 10 games, they are massive. They are the biggest 10 games we've had for a long, long time. And I think, I mean, the only thing that springs to mind is the biggest games we've had since then. If we're still in some sort of Champions League battle, that Southampton game will be the biggest game since the last game at the Boleyn, and that wasn't because we were fighting for Champions League. That was because we were saying goodbye to our home. And I think that it's massive. And I was watching some random Mark Noble video when he was saying basically in that 15-16 game, if it wasn't for 2 or 3 games, we were going to get in them Champions League spaces in that season. And I think it's just absolutely massive that we give it our all and we do us proud and we don't do a West Ham and we go out there and we get the Champions League that I think we deserve.
Yeah. We do deserve it, man. We do deserve it. And the youngsters coming up like Ashby, Langelo, Baptiste, Elise, like, there's some bad men, dog. They're bad men, dog.
Luke makes the point. May for us is 12 to 15 points. I agree. I think they're all winnable. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jake, earlier we done me and Gatesy just went through what we reckon and everyone done our predictions and we reckon we'll get my lowest was like 67 points and what was the highest, Gatesy? 71, wasn't it?
I think Kent went 73.
Yeah.
Kent went 73. I went 70 and I think Steve goes 69 if I remember correctly.
Well, to get into Champions League last season, you need 66 points. Chelsea got in with 66 points. So, I mean, looking at this season, Chelsea are fourth on there. They got 51, and we've got the game in hand. And, I mean, we're not going to go ahead them on goal difference, but we're still going to be there alongside Chelsea. I mean, they're on blistering form. I think if we beat them, we're going to get Champions League. I think that's a really hard game, Chelsea.
I know, man.
Yeah. That could be a key game in the season for us.
Yeah.
Isn't 66 such a beautiful number? Like, don't you love the number 66, dog? Like, that's my favorite number, 66. There's so many reasons, dog.
Why not? Peach, you seen the comment that Steve's made?
No, I can't see nothing. My phone's acting up. It's like black right now, dog. I can't even see y'all.
Steve says we got to get Peach over for a game sometime. Definitely.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. What? Yo, come on, man. I'll be like, Antonio that crowd, dog. How do you mean?
Kent's come back with the question about Arthur. What does Kent consider to be a reasonable offer? 10 to 15 max. Bottom end is best around 10.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
I
agree.
think if we can get anything in that sort of bracket for Arthur, I would say, yeah, fair enough.
Pete?
Because obviously, as he goes on to say, it's with the lack of finances about. So
did you hear, Gatesy, that we're already in like contract talks like to sign Lingard?
Yeah, 15 million.
Yes.
Word up.
Mate, if we get it done for 15 million, that is an absolute bargain. No doubt about it. Yeah.
That is a steal, man.
Definitely.
Peach, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want to. You're my G, man. How do you mean anything, dog?
When you come over, are you going to come to Somerset and have some scrumpy cider?
What do you think? What kind of question is that? I thought you were going to ask me like a question where I have to think, dog. What kind of question is that? I'm coming to Somerset. I'm having some scrumpy. I'm going to London. I'm having some pie mass, some jelly deals. I'm going to Duke's pub. I'm checking all the man them. How do you mean?
Are you going to have a kebab Friday with us?
What? Those are dreamland things. What? That would be like, whoa. That's like, yo, that's on my bucket list, dog. How do you mean?
Oh, I love you, Peach.
Brilliant.
I love you too, dog. You're the best, man. Straight up, man.
Peach, it'll be like you have to come over for a long bank holiday weekend. You have to visit everyone every day, different people. You'll be like a meeting appointments with everyone.
Yeah, like a trach. Oh.
What's happened there?
This happened.
Oh no.
Oh, we've lost him.
Luke's made a point. He says he knows he's in the minority, but he would play Bowen over Ben Rama. Arsenal's left side is their biggest strength. Need to lock it down. Well, I guess a lot of that hinges on whether Saka's available, I guess. But I mean, even, if Saka's not available, I would imagine that Pepe is going to be the guy that steps in. And yeah, I mean, he give Cresswell a little bit of a torrid time last season, as I remember, or am I imagining that?
But I think Cresswell's a new player now.
True. There is that. From Steve, the difference is we're a team now not dependent on one player like we were with Payet. Yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah,
I think we're more of a team now than we were then, where yes, we were ultra reliant upon one player. Right, guys, I am going to wrap it up there. I am just going to do my little shout out to Isla's Amigo. So here we go. So Isla Caton, guys, she's a 6-year-old girl. She is suffering from neuroblastoma. Now, if you don't know what this is a form of cancer that is really, really aggressive, tends to affect children in the main. And there's no treatment for this on the NHS. So she can't just go to a local hospital and get the treatment and she's off back, no problem at all. So her family have got to stop what they're doing, put their entire life on pause, take their daughter to wherever it is they can go to get treatment to save her life. So, they've got to pay for the treatment, they've got to pay for their accommodation, they've got to pay for their living costs, food, all the rest of it, as well as paying all the bills that are still coming in the UK. It's really expensive, guys, really stressful, and you're doing it in the middle of a pandemic. If you've got a family, if you've got kids, you'll get where this is, how this is playing out for the family. So this is an appeal for any of you guys. If you've got any spare funds at all, of £1 or upwards, the more that the more you can put in, obviously great. But if all you can put in is £1, do you know what? That would be taken. Not a problem at all. Thank you very much for your donation. So you've got a PayPal page there, you've got a Just Giving page there, and I ask you to dig as deeply as you possibly can. And as I say, try and put yourself in this family's shoes. If you can't, because obviously we've all been through it this last 12 months, fine, not a problem. But all I'd ask you to do, please, is share this message far and wide. We need to try and keep this momentum going. Every day that goes past is putting the odds more in this poor little girl's, more against her. Yeah. Okay. Time is critical now. Okay. The clock is ticking. We need to get the funds together. We need to get this girl back on the right track. It's as simple as that. Thank you for listening. So, guys, I'd like to thank you both for coming. Andy, Jake, appreciate it. Peach, I would thank him, but he's obviously disappeared. And obviously, we had Fat Boy on earlier, and Duke briefly popped in. And for all those you guys in the chat, we've had Steve, we've had Kent. You know, we've had all manner of people jumping in with their comments. Luke obviously popped in late. All of you guys that have got involved, I thank you very much indeed for your participation. Tell your friends who we are. Tell them we're here. We have a laugh. You know, it's as simple as that. We don't go by a script. You know, there's a few things I might prep, but that's about it. The rest of it's all off the cuff. So if that's the sort of thing that you think your mates will like, yeah, it is what it is. You know, we tend to string it out. But listen, we are Forged from Iron. You know, if you've liked the video, you've got a comment section below. You know, subscribe, hit the bell icon, click all. As and when we do any new content, Duke and I, you'll be notified straight away. You can also find us at Twitter at Forged Talk. You can also find us at Facebook if that's your thing. Forged from Iron. I believe we've actually got an Instagram as well, but I tend to stay away from that because
I'll have a look.
You can do. That's Duke's baby, to be fair. But listen, guys, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Jake's just looking if we have an Instagram. Do we?
Peach follows it. Right. Duke follows it. 7 followers.
_Forged_Iron_ again. It's a lot of underscores. So if Instagram's your thing, I'll have to get the ticker updated because that's now out of date. There you go. So if Instagram's your thing, guys, that's where you can find us as well. So as I say, thank you very much indeed for joining us for the last 2 hours. Only one thing left to say, guys. 3 points tomorrow. On to the Champions League. Let's get the job done. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.